It's on now. I think that's in my truck. We in the real with It's on now.
On the right side of the law, because I'd be a broken man. So I can't do the inside time. I can't go.
All right, and we're live on everything. So we've actually got about 50 attendees in with us already, and
okay,
ready to get this started.
Man, are you scared?
I see you, Ro. Hey, our buddy Dana Larson might have some.
I want to ask about the draft, so I'm gonna ask about the draft. I never been in nothing like this, so hopefully they answer my questions about the draft.
I'll go ahead and resend her a link.
And they don't give me no generic stuff like we're gonna pick the best player available.
Yep, he was on. I think we're just waiting for him to get back.
Happy game day to you, Jason O'Brien. I just saw that.
Draft. Q&A.
I just saw Gail say happy Sunday fun day.
Information.
Oh, I love me some Gail. I saw Randy chime in.
On the draft. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and ask that out.
This is just a big old fun internet party we're having right now, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Let me say what's up.
I see lots of Let's Go Mavs. Set take two. That's funny. Rashad Miller, take two. That's good. Hi, Gail.
You wish him well.
God, look at all these great MFMLs.
Here comes Dana.
Oh yeah, you know how we rocking out here.
You guys ever have the problem of when you say, "Oh, is that Dana? Oh my God, it worked! We did it!" Yay! And there's Chris.
Crazy thing is, I'm under my friends' Zoom, so they probably gonna answer me as him. So if you hear them refer to Freddie Woods, that's me, even though that ain't me.
I say it very
Yeah. I see Rashad Miller says, I hope everyone is having an excellent Sunday. I did enjoy today, like I saw some people on Twitter say, good morning to everyone except for the Clippers, and especially Marcus Morris.
That is a fact. My boy tried to take us out. We were already down one. He tried to take us out. It's crazy.
Technical difficulties out of the way, so I think we're ready to start. I do believe we're ready to start. You guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Facts.
Well,
try to injure my boy.
Wait a minute, we get text from Ashley. Ashley, stop texting. All right. First of all,
everybody mav'd out.
First of all, everybody who's joined us for our first ever Mavs Virtual ChalkTalk. We want to thank you all for being our guests. We especially want to thank Michelob Ultra for sponsoring today's event. And we also want to have you know that we got an outstanding lineup for you here this afternoon. You're going to hear from various Mavs VIPs on everything from past playoff experiences, to adjusting, to coaching, to outside the bubble, to keeping the winning and the secrets of all that it takes. The first person we want to hello to, and you heard during the pre-Chalk Talk chatter, our own Mark Followell, the TV Dallas Mavericks. Hey, Mark.
How's it going?
Mark Followell.
I'm doing great. The question
nice to
everybody
see you.
has. It's nice seeing you too.
Yeah, we don't get to see each other the way we used to, so it's good to see you.
I know it. And by the way, congratulations on getting your meteorology degree.
I wonder if I add something to the Q&A right now, will they answer?
Read from North Texas.
I don't want to be too. I don't want to get too antsy.
Mavericks, everybody's like wondering if we're going to get another Luka moment. It was a week ago today. Luka put on one of those displays that made him one of the all-time greatest to be.
Like Tim Hardaway said.
Records in this last Sunday, that 3-point shot on a 43-point performance with a triple-double was absolutely amazing. That being said, he doesn't have Kristaps Porzingis. What do you think the Mavericks can do shorthanded against this Clippers team that's supposed to win?
Oh, he asking
a few things. I would say certainly you're going to need to have another.
Oh, my name is up here. That's what's up.
I would tell everyone that yesterday, whenever Rick Carlisle did his media availability
from New York
after practice down at the bubble in Orlando, Rick said that Luka feels good. The extra 2 or 3 days is a plus. Certainly, he said, quoting him directly, as a matter of fact. And he said that he looked pretty good yesterday during practice, and he did not anticipate that is him being limited today. So a Luka moment certainly would be a huge aspect of things when you're without your second best player in Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah,
to me, a
it's
couple
gonna
of
be
things
tough.
stand out. Number one, Luka's got to beat Luka. Obviously, you're going to be playing smaller today, so that means you're probably going to have to play faster. Playing faster means doing things like turning defense into offense. Can you get out in transition? Can you force some mistakes by the Clippers and defend and get stops and then be able to score some easy baskets against a team that when they ratchet things up defensively are very, very good on that end of the floor? The statistics would back that up, and the eye test would back that up as well. And I think that a game where they really go bonkers from three hasn't really happened yet in this series.
Yeah, I'm a big Mavs fan, but 2020 champs is unrealistic. Don't put the chat down here. So
individuals, but I don't think that's happened collectively
see my
yet
follow up.
And if you're going to play small and play fast, then clearly making 3-point shots is a part of it as well. So there's a number of things there, Chris, that I think are important today. And I would add the rebound turnover battle is important. It's the first thing that Rick talked about yesterday. In the 3 Dallas losses, the Clippers are something like a plus 24 in total rebounds.
Which is
and
ridiculous.
In the 2 Dallas wins, the Mavericks are a plus 15 in rebounds. And in the turnover battle, the Mavericks have turned it over 8 more times combined in the 3 games they've lost to the Clippers.
Big game
tonight, 3 fewer
man.
times combined in the 2 games they've won against LA. So win the rebound battle and at least hold your own in turn.
A lot of people have questions about 2 particular players. For our own Tim Hardaway Jr., his injury status, how he's feeling, and then for the Clippers,
I don't see none of that.
Morris. Is he going to be up to his own tricks again? We know he's not suspended. What have you heard about how the Mavericks plan on dealing with him? I know they sent some tape into the league.
Put that in the wrong place.
Well, as far as Tim Hardaway goes, my understanding is that he practiced yesterday. He will be available today. I know he's listed as questionable on the injury report with a cervical strain, but my understanding is that everything is.
I don't want to sound like a douchebag, right? But like,
there was tape sent into the league about the
we could literally watch ESPN for this.
Spot incident the other night as well.
Even though I'm
as
enjoying
ChalkTalk unfolds, I know you're going to be talking with Sed and Rowe as well, and of course I would defer to those guys on this. One of the things that I've always viewed it is that the league is a fraternity, the league is a brotherhood, and competition is hard. Competition, of course, should be clean, and I think that there is a respect within the fraternity to make sure you don't do things that you shouldn't do because it's a very select group of young men to get the opportunity to play this game and make a living playing this game. So I hope everything that's happened involving Marcus Morris has just been some unfortunate accidents. Maybe I'm naive. I'm gonna choose to feel that way until somebody can positively demonstrate otherwise. But that's I may be wrong on all of that stuff. But I'd like to think everything has just been things that have happened out of the nature of competition.
Well, I know they're going to be keeping an eye on him, and all the fans, of course, have been aware of his priors as well.
When your reputation precedes you, you're going to be theoretically kept an eye on in this case, for sure.
That's a fact.
Exactly. Rick is a genius at matchups. He and Popovich are arguably the best in-game coaches in the league. What do you see some of the matchups he may try to exploit, and how much of Boban do you think you'll see today?
Well, I mean, I do think that there are limits from a physical standpoint in terms of how much you can play Boban. In this series, I believe he's playing something along the lines of 13 minutes a game, and an effective 13 minutes. This might be a little bit oversimplistic on my part to reduce it down to this, Chris, but the 2 games where Boban has scored in double digits are the 2 games that the Mavericks have won. So if you'll recall, the game that the Mavericks won when the season stopped on March 11th was against Denver when they started Boban and pushed him and played him some more minutes, and he had a 31-point game and the Mavericks won. So I understand that there are some limitations, but I also understand that this is a do-or-die situation, quite literally, for the Mavericks season. So I think you might see a little bit more of Boban today if they get him out on the floor and if he's having success. If he gets out there and he doesn't have it today for whatever reason, then you've got to adapt to the situation if you're Rick. So, to your question, that would certainly be one thing that I would look for. Are there ways that you can get Trey Burke open shots? One of the things that Skin immediately pointed out early in our telecast on Tuesday night for Game 5 was that they were putting bigger, better, longer defenders like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on Trey Burke after he went for 25 points in Game 4. So the way you beat getting bigger, longer defenders on you is play open floor basketball, transition, get into your offense quickly, and maybe you can create some matchups where Trey Burke can not be guarded by the bigger defenders and have some success.
And before we get you out of here, of course,
I'm
we
sorry
have
that I
some
have
other
to go
Maverick
because
fans who are involved.
Southwest pregame work to do. Sorry about that.
Exactly. We understand you got work to do. This has been a great experience for the Dallas Maverick players to make it to the playoffs. That was the goal for the season. To get 2 games off of a team that's as talented as the Clippers is nice. Do you think this game today should be viewed as another stepping stone, or
Say feel free to ask questions in the Q&A for part of this Chalk
Well, I don't
Talk.
think anything that happens today is a
I did.
setback. You know,
I'm
other
waiting
than
for
the
them to
fact
ask my
that
question.
he's hurt, you know, and I wish that he had gotten an opportunity to have more playoff experience, basically.
That's
in the course
another
of 1.5
question,
games.
just in case.
And I wish he'd had more opportunity than that.
Oh,
This has been a
it's
fantastic
smaller.
season.
All right, so.
The first time back in the playoffs since 2016.
Oh, should I
The
ask?
best winning percentage since 2014-15. So nothing that
Free
happens
agency.
today is going to change my mind in terms of any sort of level of disappointment of the season. I know every individual in that locker room will, if the game ends on the wrong side of the scoreboard for the Mavericks today, will be disappointed. They won't be sitting there in the locker room saying that, oh, everything's okay. You know, they came there for a tremendous run and a successful and an even more successful season than just the first round. I heard Trey Burke interviewed on the ticket earlier this week, and he said, look, we're here to win a championship, and I believe that those guys are committed to winning at the highest level. They're in it to win it at the highest possible level, but being realistic about where they are on the growth curve as a young team. And in a 2-7 matchup, which historically the 7 seed has only won 5 out of 73 2-7 first-round matchups dating back to 1984 when the whole expanded playoff field started. So the odds were against them. They put on a heck of a series. Luka's gotten valuable playoff experience. And I would lastly say that guys like Dorian and Maxey, who clearly made steps in their game this year in the regular season, got a taste of playoff basketball, and I think that helps them understand I'm improving as a player, but now I've seen another level that I need to try to raise my game to be the best that I can possibly be and be a contributor on a championship,
hopefully that makes sense,
contending type of team. So everybody benefits from this, regardless of what happens today. But let's go win the thing so we can have some fun on Tuesday.
Hopefully I have some good answers for you, man.
It's thrilled to have a Game 7 on Tuesday night. Mark,
I got
good
2
luck
questions.
and have fun this afternoon. And all the Maverick fans can look forward to your fine work on Fox Sports Southwest.
Chris, it's so nice to talk to you. Well, yes, thank you. It's so nice to talk to you and to see all my broadcast buddies here. They're going to take you the rest of the way. And thanks, everyone, for tuning into this today and for supporting the Mavs from around Dallas and Texas and the U.S. and the globe. Take care, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Peace, Mark.
All right, go Mavs. That's the great
sir.
follow-up.
You already
and
know,
as Mark
man.
said, joining us now are
man.
the rest of the fabulous Fox Sports Southwest crew in the house. Please welcome Dana Larson, Cedric Sabalas, Jeff Skinway. And I'm going to go ahead and give them the floor right now. Let them talk amongst themselves because they've got a pregame show to get ready for. And here are some insights from them. Dana, Skin, Ed.
Hey, Chris. Can you
All
hear
right,
us?
my boy
Dana.
Sells.
Awesome.
Okay.
Skin, are you there?
They got everybody
here,
here.
ready to rock
Okay.
and roll.
Very good. So we've got the floor, huh, Chris? That's a scary thing to do, to just give us this platform.
Yes, I will join you on the backside. I'm going to let you talk amongst yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, real quick, I just feel a little bit like I want to show everybody where I am. Skin, is that okay?
Absolutely.
And said, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's already gone too. There he is. Oh, see, he's got a good spot too. I feel like I want people to see that we're inside the Mavs locker room today, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we saw that. We see that.
Had to do some,
See that dirt cut out behind Cedric.
Adjusting as we try
See
to
the
be
championship
socially
behind Daniel.
distant, and distanced from the crews at our studios because we've also got the Dallas Stars in the playoffs right now, and our studios are used for some of their pre and post game. So we've been able to come downtown and come to the AAC where I hadn't been in, it felt like forever, since March. And we've got this cool place to be, which is right in the fabulous new locker room with the trophies behind us. Of course, Larry O'Brien from 2011. And that's the backdrop today. And we're so far apart because we're doing our part here, right? Said, tell us where you are.
Well, I'm in a training room right now, and obviously you see the great German behind me. You see him creeping over there, and he's just hanging out.
He's always
doing his
here.
thing. Yeah, he's always there.
First things first, thank you, Mavs fans. We appreciate you. As far as Mark Cuban and Seth Marshall, we do a great job on trying to making sure that your Mavs experience is great. Us at Fox Sports Southwest, we want to try to make it as entertaining and more about information, but on the same side, having that silliness and having some fun with it too as well. We really don't have to worry about the 1, 2, 3, and 4 quarters and sometimes extra overtimes because Luka and the rest of the guys really take care of that advantage. But we try to make sure you're informed on the latest updates on injuries and strategies. That's what's going on without giving up too much information about what Rick Carlisle wants to do on the court. But just try to get a little bit inside, make you get inside to what's going on in the huddle and also on the sidelines. We appreciate you. It's always fun to see you guys about town, and you mention all three of us all the time when you say hello. We love that. We want you to continue to be Mavs fans, and hopefully, we'll play Tuesday. We're crossing our fingers, putting ourselves in a position to play Tuesday. No KP tonight, but that's all right. There's some individuals with those jerseys on that are blue and white that will really play hard and try to compete. So good luck to them all. I know they're really excited to be in this situation. I know they don't rather be anywhere else. I know it's some difficult times in the bubble, but it's going to be a fun game today, and we're glad you guys are watching.
Yeah, and I would just like to throw out there that, as usual, Sid absolutely nailed it. Said a lot of what I think me and Dana are both thinking. Now, I'm on the other side of the arena from them. When we do the pre- and post-game show, all three of us are in the locker room, and I'm on the other side of the locker room. But in order for us to pull this Zoom off, we all needed to boogie. So I was thinking I was going to go head out in the middle of the arena. You guys can't imagine how dark it is in the arena. Heck, I'll show you. So I just kind of kept walking, and before I knew it, I was on the other side of the arena, which is why it looks like I'm in a airplane hangar right now. But this is what the arena's looking like these days. I guess you guys probably can't see much of anything there. So I just kind of kept wandering and ended up where I ended up. And I'd like to say one more thing about what Sid just pointed to, and that is one of the reasons we love being associated with this organization is because the people are really
asked us to come here to
all the people that work
to say they love their job.
And Sid mentioned,
like, I get it. I love my job too, man, but I ain't about to invite a whole bunch of people that is interested in coming to a Zoom and hearing what I gotta say to tell them I love my job. That ain't about to happen.
The best way to deal with that stuff is
so we're answering the questions.
Think outside the box. What are some things that we can do to thank Maverick fans, as Sid alluded to?
Ronaldo Blackman ain't say nothing. Rolando Blackman ain't say nothing.
Folks, you got Followell, and I know Rolando Blackman's chilling, and it's just all people that are part of this big man family, and we love you and appreciate you for wanting to engage
Rolando
with the
said
Mavericks
nothing.
even at the most difficult of times. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We want
Appreciate
to thank you
Dana
guys
Skin and Seth for saying something though.
Absolutely. I feel so sad, when you think about this building being empty for all those reasons you just said. We get to connect with so many of Mavs fans at the games here. And it's been strange because it's like every game's a road game now for obvious reasons. It truly is. And so I think, it is one of those things we realize just how much we miss those connections and how grateful we are to those of you who do tune in and have been here with us, because what a ride this has been. Seth, I want to ask you a little bit about what you thought the bubble experience was going to be like, and in the beginning, and how it has actually played out to this point. What are some of your biggest takeaways on it?
Well, I should ask Dirk that. Hey, Dirk. Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't talk right now.
And he's probably really glad he didn't have to do the bubble. Yeah.
It's been a great experience, I think, so far. From what is going on in the world with this pandemic, is how do you get this thing accomplished? I mean, obviously, we saw Major League Baseball had cancellations because of infections and people, getting the coronavirus during, I don't know, maybe playing or maybe on their way home. I'm not really sure how they're accommodating them, but obviously keeping them all in the same spot is really great. Having conversations with
I really want to go get something to drink, but I don't know if they're going to answer my questions when I walk away. I believe I'm still only going to ask a question in the Q&A. Shit, all questions.
Games,
nobody else asking
all kind
questions.
of outings to do up in Canada, so that might be a difficult situation. But the bubble was a place that I would have loved to have gone and played in my day. The fact that you just walk around and you're seeing all the top athletes and teams that you compete against, and They ride by on golf carts, talking a little trash, joking around with each other. The experience is probably phenomenal. And then not only that, the arenas are empty. And
the experience got to be like a college dorm, all dudes.
Some time
I mean, there's females there too, but
rehabbing.
I don't know if you want to start. I don't know if it's worth the trouble, man. I wouldn't really
play against Milwaukee or something
mess
like that.
with
that's
people
really
where I work at. It's not.
Obviously, the players
it's not a good idea.
had some problems early with the food, but
so pretty much, and most of them dudes is like married and got girlfriends.
But other than that, I think it's okay.
They in a bubble like a big fraternity, man.
He came out and said, but I think all in all, percentage-wise, I think it's been a good thing in the bubble.
Said I just saw real quick a message at the bottom, somebody wanting to ask you about how is it more challenging to try to do your job from outside the bubble because you aren't here, you aren't able to be at home.
Where's
games
they
where
asking these questions at?
And you're chatting with people and around the players. Our interactions now, we don't go to practice to interview. We're on Zooms, with them from Orlando. So has it been more challenging for you?
Yeah, it's been challenging period through the pandemic. Not only just
I guess I'm asking them the wrong questions.
We split our games in the arena and also in the studio. So this is just like a bunch of road games to us because we're always in some sort of studio or quiet location. Most of the time, as you stated earlier, coming in this place and it's empty is very rare. It's only after the games or pre-games, but it's usually bananas and hard for us to hear. What our producer is talking to us on our earpieces. But the difficulty has just been all around with the pandemic, not being away from people. And, I don't live here in Dallas. I travel from Phoenix. And when they started to restart in June, I came out here by myself. So I've been stuck in a condo, just doing little odd things by myself for a couple of months. So that can, drive anybody crazy. So
you're in a different kind of bubble.
Yeah, different kind of bubble. But as much as you can do to try to help out, make sure you
stay safe though.
Social distance, wear your
wow,
mask
somebody else in Q&A.
And
I know teaching in the roadside you can Oh, okay. Maybe that's what
Jen,
you got the question
do you have any takeaways before we head into this one today? I mean, the last game we did was one of those where you thought we just got to forget about it and move on. But so much happened since that game. Mm-hmm. And now they really have to refocus in an entirely different way.
Yeah, I think
what was my question?
When this season does end, and I think for Maverick fans, we don't want it to end today. And I think for the players and coaches, they don't want it to end today. But when it ends, it will be the wildest season in their lives ever. There will be nothing to compare to it. And so you don't want to go out after all that you've been through without feeling like we just did everything that we could do. And obviously, Tuesday night was a really, really tough loss. And then those guys probably knew something was up with Porzingis. The rest of us found out on Friday, right? So there's a lot going on here. And there's a lot, Sid was talking about some of the abstracts of bubble life. I want to say this.
The Mavs definitely knew something was
really
wrong with Kristoff.
To not only be associated with the NBA, but also this organization. Because nobody ever gets it right all the time. But I feel like you can sense the energies and the efforts and the motives of the people that are involved in this league and the people that are involved in this organization. And I think that they do everything that they can to do things the right and the fair way. And part of that was this bubble scenario, and the isolation is tough. It's hard on the players. This is going to be a complete gut check for both teams. I mean, if you read what was going on this week behind the scenes, the Clippers were one of the teams by reports that were ready to go home, and they have a legitimate chance of winning a championship, and they were up in their series. It's real easy to go, well, these are rich guys, they should do whatever. No, that's not the way it works. Everybody has to deal with troubles and issues in life, no matter how much money they do or don't make, no matter what their situation is. And those guys in that bubble
some people
have
just
all
don't
had to
get
deal
it.
with a lot, just like we at home have had to deal with a lot.
Some people don't
so
get
you
it.
gotta
They
take
people
all
too.
of that's going on
They people
against
too.
the backdrop of everything that's going on in America.
Well, Chris
and go play
Arnold
basketball.
asks my question.
And hopefully played at the highest of your ability, and you're a little outmanned because your second best player is not there. But one thing that I think we've all learned, and I think it's why you guys are on this call today and why you're invested in this team, is we got a great team to root for. it is a great group of guys, and they genuinely love and play for one another. And I hope, me and Dana and Sed get to see it up close. I hope you guys
I do love the team. That's why I asking these draft and free agency questions.
We genuinely
that's why I ain't trying to answer them.
Pulling for this group of guys. We have a great organization. And win or loss today,
this is business, and I'm asking real business questions.
Just a really mentally tough, mentally strong group of guys that play for one another.
In other words, you're about to see Luka go for 15, 16, and 12. That's
really
what's
well
about
said.
to happen.
I totally echo those thoughts, and Rick Carlisle said it this weekend. Basketball has got to be therapeutic, and I think we're all looking forward to a little of that kind of therapy here in just a little bit. Chris, we hope everybody will be around and joining us coming in just a little bit. We've got to probably head off and make sure we've got our thoughts put together so we can bring you the pregame at 2 o'clock. It's been so great to be with everybody, though. Loved doing this. Thanks for the comments, and just thanks for inviting us to be a part of this.
I wish y'all would answer my
you guys
question.
Are absolutely awesome. Dana, Sed, Skin, you guys go ahead and do what you do best this afternoon. The Mavericks' future looks bright, and we love the tour. The tour that's what you do on a ChalkTalk in a pandemic, and I love the technology today. Thank you.
See you guys.
See you, Stin, and that was excellent points made by you. Sed, great work yourself. We appreciate y'all so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. Skin said it best. The Dallas Mavericks are going places. This is an absolutely strong organization. Everything's about doing it the right way. I cannot say it enough. I'm so proud to be a part of this group. Another person that I'm proud to know is an NBA legend, a college basketball legend.
Yes, sir. Let's see what Rolando got to say.
A Dallas Mavericks legend. Yes.
He probably is pronouncing his name wrong like crazy.
He's been through the playoffs, and he's been through the good times and the bad. Put your hands together. I know you're at home, but put your hands together for our own Rolando Blackman. Ro Blackman, how you doing, buddy?
Rolando.
Chris, what's going on? How's the day going? How's the day?
I gotta give him his own personal session.
I can't wait to pick your brains. And so all these
ask my questions, man. Like, come on, yo.
For my question and answer section, we're gonna do this ChalkTalk right, and get through some of these. Oh, look at all these. Look at all the claps. I see emoji claps showing up. Everybody saying, hey,
I don't see this. I see 3 questions going on, man.
I miss everybody too, Chris, at the arena, running around.
Yeah.
Middle, down, everywhere. I'm usually around all the people, and I really, really miss that interaction. I really do.
Let me give you some props. There are like 3 beloved Mavericks that people talk about. Currently, JJ's beloved. And they love Luka, but JJ's beloved. Dirk is beloved, and you are beloved. How does it feel to not only be considered great and people like you, but to be beloved in your own town?
Well, it's a lot of fun for me, my family. It's a lot of great situations all the way around. And I've been here since 1981. It's a fantastic thing, not only on the basketball court, but in all the community service, all the work.
Yes.
I get a chance to see people all over the place. I got people yelling at me when I go to the mall, from the 3rd level, up, down, everywhere, answering questions. But we're all together, though. That's the main factor, too. We're all part of the community. We have different jobs, different situations that are going on, but we all want the same things, and we all really kind of trust each other in getting these things done, especially with the Dallas Mavericks organization. So it's been special.
So before we get into some of the greatest things that have happened to you over your career and how it's relevant to today, I mentioned Luka and how everybody's like going crazy over Luka throughout the world, and he is loved in Dallas. But what he did last Sunday, that 43-point triple-double performance, escalated by that shot at the buzzer, that 3-pointer, that was so iconic. I want you to describe what you were doing when you saw that, and then I got a follow-up question.
What I was doing was I was exactly keeping my mind being down.
What's wrong with you, man?
And when I was watching the player reactions, even the camera work around
What's wrong with you, dude?
Watching what the intake of the coaches were doing. It was just a matter of just going through the process of seeing what the internal
watching this
attitude is coming out of the timeout. Everybody looked very confident coming out of the timeout. That's very important, very key. You didn't have the feeling of wonderment or looking around like everybody was all of a sudden scared of the moment. And the important thing was the execution. That's the important fact of the whole thing. To be able
always
to come
the
out,
most important thing.
Cut tight, which was super, because that didn't give Reggie a chance to be able to switch. He came out, got the basketball, and of course when he gets the basketball, people have to understand you have a supremely confident player that can execute in that situation and relishes the opportunity. He wants the ball and has the skill to produce. And the important thing,
because everybody that want the ball can't put it in the hoop.
And then and Luka was able to execute, which was for me. I was in the house like just boom, let's go, because everybody's really like I am watching a great player in the process of ever so growing.
Process of greatness.
I was talking to a buddy,
yes, sir.
David Aldridge, formerly of TNT, you know, the legend insider.
Yeah.
He was saying that reminded him of Michael Jordan scoring those 63 points against the Celtics his second year, and he's in first time in the playoffs as well. So I was like, every time you look up and Luka does something, it's always comparable to some of the greatest players ever. Mark Cuban said people should let Luka not be compared to anybody else, but be compared to himself. I want to know how you feel about Luka being compared to so many people, especially at such a young age of 21.
Well, it's fantastic. I think you should relish it. All of us should have fun in that process, because you see that you have a great one in front of you. It's all the emotional things inside, but it's backed up by his. I mean, it's perverse. His skill is perverse. There's nothing that he can't do, and the opportunities that he puts that skill with the talent, the emotional talent. When I tell people to make sure you understand what I'm saying, the emotional talent. The situation's there, but Luka is ready to put his very best and apply it whenever it's needed. That's why it's so important, even for guys like me who watch this guy. It's just a great feeling, because he has the skills, he has the emotional talent and skills to being able to handle it. And I forget about record books and all that kind of stuff too. We might have to get a new book before it's all over. We might have to get a new book, because this guy is just ripping and running, and he's one of the best already.
Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
So nice to also see that his peers respect him. I say his peers. We're talking about the guys who are playing currently, let alone the people from the past and all the observers. But when he hit that shot and you saw the social media reaction from LeBron and D. Wade, and you just go down the list of everybody who, even when he was a rookie, really respected and admired his game. It got to make you feel good as a Maverick fan, and of course as a former Maverick player, that somebody on your team is getting this much respect, let alone the hype. It's one thing to get the hype. It's another thing for people to say, wow, he really is this good. And we're talking about guys who are currently playing this game.
Alright, because Dirk ain't get that. Dirk got his respect, but it wasn't. He ain't even get half the publicity as Luka.
That guy can play, and that's the important part about the whole thing about Luka. Everybody who sees him, whether you've played before, this and that, and watched the game, you see and understand that this guy is at the top of the food chain, and you understand it through his consistent high-level play and his ability to bring a team up to a level that always has a chance to win, Chris. Always has a chance to win, because he's in the game. And that's what heightens everybody else on the team to being able to play at their best also, because they know they got the ace in the hole. You go to that fifth card on that poker game, all of a sudden, boom, here comes that card that you need. You know what I mean? That's how you feel when you're there.
He gambles a lot.
So he's one of the best playing legit, period.
Yes, period. And it's one that we got different people texting in and the question. By the way, shout out to Panama. We got Jose in Panama. He said, hey, bro, because that's where you were born.
Hey, Jose.
Yeah.
¿Cómo están?
Very good, very good. One of the things about Luka is also amazing. He's only 21 years old, but the way he plays the game, he controls the tempo. It's not like he's some fast guy or some slow guy. It's like he dictates the tempo, which is like an advantage. And you're a guard, so you know how it is when somebody can control that. Can you compare him to somebody on the tempo? I've never heard anybody talk about the way he commands the game that way.
Well, the main thing about it, when you talk about the game and the execution, especially when you're talking about there's a fast break or a half-court situation, is that you've got to be able to understand that the system helps him a great deal. That's where Coach Carlisle and the rest of the coaches come in putting him in a situation where now he gets a chance to have the spread floor, cutters are going through, he has to be able to handle the pick and roll and being able to make great decisions off of that, whether he's passing, whether he's moving the defense, whether he's taking the shot, how he applies it at his own speed. But don't get it funny now. Luka may not look fast, but he's quick. He's quick. he has some lightning moves also on the dribble, left, right, going to the bucket. So it's not like you playing somebody slow. So when you're talking about that, I would have to say the control of tempo would be that John Stockton type of control of tempo. That's what I would say. I'm gonna leave it there in that control of tempo piece because John was one of the very, very best in being able to set the pace, making sure and move the defense. And then at the end of the day, hit the right person for the right shot, and that's an important piece of the puzzle.
Let's talk about where the Mavericks are, and not necessarily this game today, but the fact that they made the playoffs and the experience of the playoffs. You were with the franchise when they were young, so just like this group is young, and I think only JJ's got a ring, and there might be one other player that's gone somewhere in the playoffs. Trey Burke might have played some playoff minutes. Tim Hardaway might have played some playoff minutes, but on the whole, it's a very young group. You were there back in the day when the young Mavericks had the Moody Madness against Seattle. You were there back in the day when you guys took the Lakers all the way. Was it Game 7 or Game 6?
Oh man, it was all the way through Game 7 with that Showtime.
Yeah, I was with you. I was with you for that. I was out there for that game. I just couldn't remember. It's just like a blur all these years ago. But you were also with the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. You and Derek Harper. Can you talk about what you learned just by being in the playoffs as a young guy, and also, my follow-up question is going to be talking about how tough it is in the playoffs, and guys play tough.
Well, the important factor is you learn a lot about yourself once the time the playoff comes, because it's a maximum amount of pressure in which you have to have your act together, not only individually, but you have to have your act together with your teammates, not only the guys you start with, but people coming off the bench. There has to be a coordination, a sense of heightened emotion playing the basketball game. But one of the most important things is that you have got to show yourself. It's time to show. It's time to put yourself on the line. And it's time really to be able to find that courage within yourself to put your game to the highest level. Because, Chris, only the highest level will count. It's not about playing and about participating. It's about putting yourself to the level of which you count. You've got to have the confidence to make sure that you can make a play when the opportunity presents itself. And this is not only for the names also. Luka's going to be there. But the opportunity that he creates when you get the basketball is also very important. That's why it's a team game. It's not just Luka. It's the rest of the guys on that team to be able to make a play. Hardaway has to be able to make plays. Curry has to be able to make plays. You've got to be able to have anybody on that floor. Maxi Kleber, Luka Doncic. I mean, everybody has to be able to do the thing once you get your chance and opportunity. But you've got to have a heightened sense of confidence. You've got to be in your mind saying, we belong here. Doesn't matter what anybody is saying. I belong here. My boys and I are coming here to win. We're not coming to participate. We're coming to win. And the Mavericks can do so, but you've got to have the elevated performances. Be at your best, wait for your opportunity, and seize the moment. Take, do not wait to be given. And that's what's important about getting into a playoff situation when you're getting around the best. That's what's important, Chris.
Let's talk about the emotions and the fact that it's tough in the playoffs. And certain teams have reputations for being very tough and physical. Back when you were playing them, now I'm going to go in the old here. We're going to go to the OG. All right?
Right, I understand it. I still got some of the bumps and bruises on my shoulders from all
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, back then it was a lot more physical. You had to go through those Detroit Pistons. You had to play against some of these rougher, tougher teams. What do you say, or what would you say to this group of Mavericks playing down there in the bubble if you had the opportunity about going through a tough, competitive, physical team like the Clippers? How do you get past the mental games?
I think the mental games are very important to be able to have confidence in yourself, first of all. And then after that is to be able to have your team format knowing exactly what is it you want to do. What you want to do is win, right? So winning means that you have to take care of all the details. Rebounding, loose balls, tips on your defensive action, getting back on defense, making sure that the assignments are there. Take that charge. All the little things mount up to something very, very big. But what's most important about all of this whole thing is to be able to have your moment, have your chance, that when it does come, that you apply it with confidence. And making sure that with the team like the Clippers, you've got to be able to have force against their aggression. They're going to come up up inside. They'll be able to smell your uniform. And so you've got to make sure make them back off by taking the ball to the bucket and have their defense collapse so that you can have outlets and passes. It can't be a passive movement. It has to be aggressive, and it has to have the mental piece of the puzzle to be able to break their defense down when aggression hits you. And everybody has to be in it. It's not just Luka. You've got to help Luka. And you've got to be able to apply yourself in an aggressive way, but a smart, formatted way. You've got to stay there and let Luka create for you. And when that happens, being able to take advantage of the beauty of what he can do, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's a collapse defense and you have something open. But just relish the chance to be able to take. It's about taking. Show, take, show yourself, take, and being able to get that kind of stuff done. You got to come with the proper intensity, like Bruce Lee said. You got to come with the proper internal content to be able to get where you go.
Oh, I love Bruce Lee. That's my hero right there. I love those words you're spouting. And Ro, you're a shooting guard. You're an all-star shooting guard. And you're also one of the most pure shooting players in NBA history. Everybody knows you got that perfect shot. I want to ask you about Seth Curry and Tim Hardaway Jr. And I'll even throw in Trey Burke. How important it is for them.
I ain't never heard of this ChalkTalk stuff. I thought this was something that was exclusive. They do this all the time.
In your sweet spot, and you've got to be able to perform. What would you say to those guys?
The guys just have to be confident and aggressive in their ability they've already shown. Remember, we're in the playoffs. You've already shown what you can do. This is nothing new for you in any kind of a way. You just have to have the confidence and control of your skills to apply it when the opportunity comes. And just like those guys, because they have a beautiful jump, they can hit the jumper, that means they're going to get that heavily applied defense, which gives them a great advantage to bust it to the hole. Because you're going to have defense right up on you. You take it to the hole, break the defense down, make the play for the 2 free throws, or make the pass to the next person, because you're applying both levels of being able to be a shooter, which is defense up on you, and being able to apply the force against their pressure to being able to break them down and make that next play for the next guy. But ultimate confidence in what you've already shown. We already know you can hoop and play and hit. So do those things with the applied force against that kind of defense that you're going to face against the Clippers.
We're all hoping for a Game 7.
It sounds real simple, Ronaldo, but like you said, it's up to execution.
Because a lot of people
execution is the most important thing.
And they perform very well during the regular season. What is the mentality going into a game?
If you ask anybody outside of us, they swear to God we the only ones that think that people had us not making the playoffs. People didn't have us making the playoffs.
Or the season is over.
Well, I'm always talking to my teammates. I mean, for me, I was an applied skills person, so I mean, go-to guy, shoot the ball game, the basketball game, just the same situation. But you've got to be on one accord with your teammates, and you've got to have confidence in the next things that go on. All details are very important. In playing games like this, knowing that this is the 6th game, you have all the pre-parts of the offense going. The first parts, everybody knows. It's the secondary parts that become more important now. All the options off of the plays because the defense is playing a certain way. You've got to be on one accord with the guys starting and the guys coming off the bench so you don't miss reps and opportunities down the floor. Every opportunity down the floor counts, and it's a very important piece of the puzzle to take advantage of every time they make a mistake to being able to do something positive about it. But the important factor with all of this, though, Chris, is to being able to have fun. Think of it in your mind as a time of greatness. You can apply yourself. If you can do that, you release your internal spirit. You'll come to the game in a confident way and wanting to apply yourself, knowing that people are there. You're representing not only yourself, your family, your teammates, but also the cities that you're from. It's a big deal for you. But Chris, handle your business and show what you've already shown. Go get at it.
Go get at it. Another basketball, no, actually it's more than basketball. It's about them being down there in the bubble. They've been there since July 10th. Now, I know you've been in situations playing overseas where you're away from your family, and it's kind of tough being away from your family and friends and whatnot, but at the same time, they've been down there getting to know each other a little bit better. It's almost like being on the Olympic team or something where you get to know players from other teams better in the hotel or whatever. Can you talk about the pluses and minuses of them being in the bubble? You're not in the bubble, but you've been in some situations away from family and friends before.
Yeah, but the main factor is that it's doggone tough. So I don't want anybody to apply themselves like, oh, it's easy. they're making a lot of money and they
Right.
just have to do this, all that kind of stuff. Because people go to the least valued situation and always take you out of being a human being. They always take you out of the applied science of who you are. You're still a human being with all those great skills and all the things you can apply, but you still have to be around people, especially people you know and people who love you, people who care about you, and those things. And it changes the process of what you have to do mentally. You have to grow new mental situations now to be able to be away and then focus in and format on what you have to do. Because once you're away in that way, even like I tell people all the time, even when you walk into an arena, when you look into an arena, you see the light to the left side, you see the floor, you see all kinds of things. All of those things have to be normal and usual for you. That way you get a chance to knock out all the things that are new and be able to apply and focus yourself to the things that you have to do in this game. Remember now, that rim is 20, 25, 30 feet away. It's a small little hole like this that you got to apply yourself and put that ball into the hole, as well as understanding what's going on with your teammates. You don't need any distractions, and it's very tough sometimes also to get into a new routine and apply it to yourself. Different personalities all around. That's why coming together as a team. And from what I've heard from the bubble, they do have activities outside of the room where they can do different things: fishing, playing board games. They can go out there and play some golf. So you have things to take your mind outside the room to be able to put yourself in that place. But this is high level basketball. This is top line focus. This is not just playing and participating. This is the real deal. You're playing against the very best, so you've got to bring your very best. And that's part of the mental piece of the puzzle in being a playoff performance.
This team has got a lot of people excited, and one of the questions we got is, what do you think next year is going to look like with this team and what they might be able to add to it? And it's always excitement in youth. People love hope of the youth. When you're an old veteran team, they're like, how long are these guys going to be around? But when they're young, it's like the sky's the limit.
I'm about to ask my question.
I'm excited.
Look like he leading in to ask my question. Let's hope he do it, because getting antsy, man.
For the years to come in Luka, you got KP. If he can stay healthy, can be somebody that can be.
How we gonna build around that? That's what I want to know.
In that fact, and don't forget that they have KP out today, and don't forget our starting center. I want everybody to remember a guy by the name of Dwight Powell.
Yes.
If Dwight can get healthy and stay healthy with KP, and you
yes, sir.
Imagine those pick and rolls when that center
Dwight Powell gonna be dope.
Decides that he's gonna help and have Powell behind to being able to jump up to the top of the square like he has and we've seen. Slam that basketball, that weak side person has to come down and take that away from him. That guy in the corner and those two people will be.
We missed Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, man.
Many open shots that they're going to get in that kind of a way. So I personally would just like to see the teams be lucky enough to stay healthy with KP, with Powell, with Luka Doncic, with Hardaway, with the guys that are there, and watch them grow into being a locked team and being able to get things done in that way. So I just want to wish for health in the talent that we already have. Who said we couldn't beat the Clippers? People are like, we can't beat. We can beat them. We have our full team. We can beat them. It's not like, oh, they're whatever.
Right.
The Mavs right now can win. That's the important factor with the guys on the team. We just got to be healthy, because you got to have health and talent against the top teams, which we are one of them in having our guys healthy. That's what I believe.
I agree with you. And what's so exciting, like you mentioned about Dwight Powell, he is the best rim runner analytically in NBA today. He's the best one. And
you're about to say history,
the Mavericks have created the best offense in NBA history. This offense for this season was the best in history. And just imagine what they will do once they're even more comfortable with each other. Imagine what they might be able to do when all of them are playing together on the same page. Just imagine if they got room to bring back Shea Burke. Just imagine what they might be able to do. The sky is the limit. One other thing, and St. Marshall said it best. I saw you said legends, recognizing legends to be. We love that. I also love the Mavericks organization. Well, you've always been about the community. From the day you set foot in Dallas in 1981, you've always done about giving back. The Mavericks have 7 days of action, including voting, because this is the big year. We want everybody who's eligible to vote to be able to vote. And the American Airlines Center is going to be one of the locations on Election Day that you may be able to vote. Can you talk about how important it is that the Mavericks have been doing so many things in the community, especially during COVID, and especially with the PPEs and giving back and making things available for all the school kids and all the first responders and the essential employees in the hospitals and whatnot? Because you've been about this.
Listen, when you're inside of an organization that has great leadership, when you're talking about Mark Cuban, you're talking about Sid Marshall, you're talking about people who care about the community, people who set the table, that's not only for entertainment of basketball and for entertainment for people, but it's important that they are active participants in society on a regular basis. When you talk about school programs, when you talk about business, when you talk about having the programs and activities going on behalf of not only school children, businesses, but normal people all throughout, the Mavericks have been in tune and also have been on the forefront. They have so many active programs that it's a situation since COVID has started to being able to be implemented inside of society that it's at the top. They've got a few other teams in the league, and the Mavericks are always top 1, 2, 3 in being able to making sure that they understand and society understands, especially Dallas, Fort Worth, and around the league, that they are active participants in the uplifting of society all the time, away from the basketball. Away from basketball. They're always internal to the needs of the people and being able to be active, if not in the front of setting up activities and programs to being able to society to know that they're doing a great job and being able to be a part of what's going on. So, you know, I'm there all over the place in different situations too, with the basketball, with the internal piece of corporate, and having the opportunity to be community all throughout. That's a job I relish and an opportunity that's right in my space, and I'm glad and very, very happy to have the opportunity to participate as a Dallas Maverick in that sense. And it's top of the food chain, just like Luka is. The Dallas Maverick organization and the community is at the top in that way consistently.
Yes, that's what we've been all about, and we can't thank you enough for joining us on this first ever virtual Chalk Talk, bro. Appreciate you so much, man, and all the things that you do on and off the court.
Love being with you. Because you take care of yourself. Come on, guys. Come on. Have courage.
Oh,
courage.
yes.
Courage.
That's right. Courage and confidence, baby. Go Mavs.
All the time.
And everybody who's been a part of this Chalk Talk, we want to thank you for joining us.
I want y'all to answer my question.
Sponsor, Michelob Ultra. And we want to thank everybody again for everything that you've been doing with the Dallas Mavericks organization. We're a team not only on the court, but off the court as well. We're all about the community. We're all about social justice. These are historic times. We want everybody to stay involved, especially during this pandemic. And again, hopefully, cross your fingers. If we get a Luka performance and a full team effort, we will have a Game 7 on Tuesday. And maybe we might just do this again. You never know. You never know.
Hopefully I answer my questions and gotta do this
again. Who's been a part of this Chalk Talk. I want to thank everybody behind the scenes, including Sid Marshall all the way down, Eric, Aaron, Ashley, everybody, Gail. We thank you all so much for making this thing happen, and thank you for joining us. Who knew that in a pandemic we would still be able to have a Chalk Talk, but we got it virtually done. I want to thank Skin Wade, Dana Larson, Sid Sabalas, and of course Mark Followell. Everybody, thank you so much, and go Mavs!
It's on now. I think that's in control.